Hi, welcome along to another video. Now I'm doing a health video today and it's quite a serious one. Today I'm going to be talking about statins, particularly about why I chose to start taking statins. I'm going to tell you all about that decision-making process. Statins are a drug designed to lower cholesterol in your blood and therefore hopefully reduce your risk of heart disease or stroke in the future. Now, I should say, whether or not you take statins is a personal decision that you must discuss with your doctor and decide for yourself whether it's right for you. There are arguments on both sides about whether statins are good or not. I'm not going to go into all the details, but I'm going to explain why I made the decision that I did. Now, firstly, let's go back probably at least 3 years when, as part of a routine blood test, I was told that I had high cholesterol and I should think about taking statins as a possibility. And at the time, I agreed with my doctor that I would look at my lifestyle, my diet, and see if I could get my cholesterol down by changing what I ate. I have a huge love of cheese. Cheese is one of my pleasures in life. I do eat rather too much, and I decided that I would cut down my cheese intake and see if that helped. Didn't go too well, actually. I found it very difficult not to binge on cheese when I got peckish. As I say, I just love it. So my cholesterol didn't go down. And the other thing is, I was also told by a specialist that your diet doesn't really make any difference, a huge difference to your cholesterol. If you've got a sort of a genetic disposition to having high cholesterol, it's going to be high anyway. So she said to me, don't worry, if you enjoy cheese, eat cheese. Any case, a couple of years later, another routine blood test, different doctor, moved to Cornwall by then, and it's like, yeah, your cholesterol's high, maybe you should take statins. Are you ready to go onto statins? And I was like, no, don't want to go into statins. You hear about side effects, and I thought, yeah, let's have another go at the diet. And of course, 3 months later, they said, no, come back in 3 months, see how it goes, and have another test. So 3 months later, that was earlier this year, I had another blood test, and again, the results weren't great. I'm just going to run through those results. You might want to compare these with your own if you've got higher cholesterol, but let's just see what those results were. So we're going to start with total cholesterol, and you can see on here my total cholesterol 3 months ago. 5.7. Now, the healthy normal range is recommended to between 0 and 4.9. So, yeah, mine's over, which isn't great. We'll then just move on to the HDL cholesterol, and as you can see, that's pretty low. That's the good cholesterol. That's better if it's higher. So, although it's just on the edge of the normal range at 1.1, it's a bit on the low end. Now, the non-HDL cholesterol is the total cholesterol excluding the good cholesterol, yep. So, again, mine's a bit high. Normal range should be between 0 and 3.9. I'm up at 4.6. So, again, it's not as good as I would like it. Yeah, it should be lower. We'll look at what they call serum cholesterol stroke HDL ratio. Mine is 5, and it should be between 0 and 6. So, despite all the other things, the ratio is okay, but that's just one part of it. We've then got the triglycerides, and mine are in the normal range at 1.3. And here we go. The LDL cholesterol, which is the bad cholesterol, mine's on 4. Ideally, 0 to 2.9 is a healthy range. So overall, you can see that, my cholesterol is higher than it should be. So what's wrong with having high cholesterol or high bad cholesterol? Well, cholesterol in your blood is seen as a high risk factor for coronary heart disease or stroke in later life. So it's only one of the risk factors, of course. Okay, there are lots of different risk factors. There is whether you drink a lot, whether you smoke, whether you're overweight, whether you have diabetes. There's lots of different things which give you a higher or lower risk of having heart disease or stroke in the future. Cholesterol is just one of them. And most doctors will advise you, if your other risk factors, I should say also genetics as well comes into it. Yeah, genetics is another one. If you have other high risk factors, If you smoke, if you drink, if you have diabetes, all those things that you can control, it's probably better to look at those first before you go on to statins. Because although having high cholesterol is a risk factor, it's not as serious a risk factor as some of those other things. Okay, so me personally, I don't drink very much at all now. I've never smoked. I'm at a reasonable body fat percentage. I'm on about 20, which is sort of the high end of the normal range, but it's reasonably healthy. And I don't have a history of heart disease in my family, so most of my risk factors are quite low. So it's debatable whether I should think about statins or not to reduce my cholesterol. But what I did is I looked at some facts and figures. And we're going to get into some maths now. So if maths isn't your thing, skip to the end. Okay, we're going to look at the maths of probabilities, and it's a really interesting mathematical subject looking at probabilities. If I was to, for example, roll a dice and hope to get a 6, I've got a 1 in 6 chance of getting that 6, assuming it's not a loaded dice, yeah? On average, every 6 rolls, I'm going to get 6. However, I could throw that dice 100 times and never get a 6 at all. I could throw it once and get a 6 first time. Probabilities are all about huge numbers and about working out if I throw the dice 1,000,000 times, I'm going to get roughly 1 6 in every 6 throws, but it doesn't work out for small numbers. The same way as probabilities in health and risk factors can be totally irrelevant for individuals, but do manifest themselves over large numbers across the population. So, for example, if you have a huge population of millions of people and you stick them all on statins, you will find that you will reduce the number of cases of heart disease and stroke and early death from those things by quite a significant amount, maybe 1 in 10. Okay, and that's an interesting statistic, because on average, 1 in 10 people who take statins will benefit hugely from those statins. The other 9 won't. Now, I'm just going to refer you to a video, and I'm going to put a link to this video below. It's a really interesting video, and it's one of the things which made me make my decision to take statins for my cholesterol. And it's a video by a cardiologist, and he's got some very interesting points. So watch his video as well if you're interested in that. But I will just say that if you take 100 people and put them on who have got high cholesterol and put them on statins, for 90% of those people, 90 out of 100, they won't really benefit at all in their lifetime. The other 10 out of 100 will, and those are 10 people that would have otherwise had a stroke or a heart disease and died early. But taking the statins will give them an extra, let's say, I think the figure was 70 months of life. So what's 70 months in years? That's quite a few years. 6, 12, 7, yeah, six odd years extra life. That's worth it. That's worth it. But you've got to take a statin every day of your life, and those benefits might not materialize for years. I might be looking at being in my 80s and having an extra few years of life. I'm 60, I'm taking statins now. I've got to take a tablet every day. Why not? Well, side effects. And there's hundreds of videos out there talking about side effects. And I would say to you, have a look at them. Don't take them all seriously. If you see massive headlines like, "What doctors don't tell you about statins," it's like clickbait, and it's designed just to make you click on it because it's like dramatizing things. And you need to sort of work it out for yourself. And the view I took is that start taking statins by all means. If I get side effects that I don't like, I can always stop. If the side effects are worse than the long-term benefits, then yeah, you can always stop. As it happens, I have not noticed any side effects whatsoever after taking my statins. I'll talk about the particular statin in a minute, but I haven't had any side effects. They say you can get muscle aches, muscle atrophy, and issues like that. I've actually been training a lot recently. I've put on a bit of muscle while I've been taking the statins, and I haven't had any muscle aches other than the regular nice DOMs that I get after a day's exercise. So that's fine. So I'm going to continue with the statins. I have a 3-month blood test coming up, and we'll see if they're working or whether we need to think about changing the dose. That's for me to discuss with my doctor, but I will make another video once I've had my next blood test results. So my main reason for taking the statins is the long term, the long term. And if it's a 1 in 10, if you're going to take a 1 in 10 chance of living longer, I think that's worth it. I think even though I'm most likely to be one of the 9 that has no benefits at all, get to the end of my life. I've been taking a tablet every day for nothing, but of course we don't know. And it's good for me to minimize that risk of that heart attack, stroke, heart disease, that kind of stuff. I'm very happy at the moment to take those statins. Of course it might change, but we'll see how things go. So, as I said before, it's all about numbers, it's all about probabilities. There's no guarantees that statins are going to help you. There's no guarantees that they're going to make any difference at all. And in fact, you can live a long and healthy life with high cholesterol. Most people with high cholesterol do anyway. It's only going to be that 10% of people that would otherwise have a heart attack, stroke, a problem that the statins are going to prevent. So, of course, it's your own choice. Decide what you want to do. I will keep you informed as to what I'm doing and how it's going. Let's just quickly take a look at the statins I'm taking. It's this one. It's called Atorvastatin. It's a very common statin, and I'm taking 20 milligrams a day, 1 tablet a day, and that's a good starting point. You can increase that, and that's for your doctor or your pharmacist to decide. So, Atorvastatin. No side effects for me whatsoever. Interesting, in that video that I mentioned earlier, that cardiologist, he talks about side effects. He's got some really interesting things to say, so I recommend you have a look at that video too. But for me, here we are. I'm on statins. I didn't want to. I put it off for 3 years, but ultimately I decided that in consultation with my doctor, it was going to be a good thing and we would see how it goes. So there we are. That's all I'm going to say about the subject for today. I'll be doing another video soon once I've had my blood test results and see what my cholesterol is doing, and deciding from there how I'm going to move forwards. So I hope you found that useful. Let me know in the comments, and if you've got any particular comments, do pop them down. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, all those things that's important for us people on YouTube, and I hope to see you for another video very soon. Take care and goodbye.